Howdy guys, it's Luke at Geek Scenics, and in this video we're going to look at a lot of static applicators. I'll catch you after this. So in this video guys, we're going to be looking at static grass applicators, from the very cheap up to the high-end hobby versions. What we're going to be doing in this video is testing them to see what you get for your money. The test is going to be 3 layers of static grass, 4 and 6mm mixed together. The first layer will go down like a carpet, we'll have a look at that. The second layer will then go on top to get us length. Then we're going to mess it up to get some like sort of toughy, messy ground to flock on top of. And then the third layer is the detailing layer, which will give you that sort of Highlands, Scottish Highlands look to the static grass. And we're going to try this with each applicator exactly the same, to see which achieves the best look and also to see if quality comes with the price you pay. Right, so starting off with all the static applicators, we're going to be using the fast dry basing glue from my range. The reason is, with it being an acrylic fast drying glue that's very tacky, static grass hits this and stays upright quicker. If you do it in PVA, it can stand up depending on the thickness, but sometimes it does fall over. So to keep it fair, I'm using the glue, the proper glue that you're supposed to be using. Now, the first problem with this cheaper applicator is the mesh on it is only allowing the 4mm through. It's not allowing the 6mm. However, the 4mm is sort of standing up, but I would have similar results just using a sieve. Then we apply some dirt. This is just to hide all the gaps. If you was using 2mm, you don't technically have to do this, but using this dirt does give you a very nice look. It does mat the grass down. I learnt this off Simon from the railway video. If you've not seen that, check the links. Then we just build it up with a bit of varnish to get the second layer on, to get this to a length. Again, because of the mesh being fine, it's only allowing the 4mm grass through. And with it only allowing the 4mm grass through, I'm having to shake the living hell out of it. So the length of this grass isn't particularly long. There's a lot of gaps in it because it's not giving you a full carpet. So we've only really got maybe 4, in some spaces, maybe 8mm depth, but it's not that long, and it doesn't feel very long when I'm trying to mess it up for the next step. It is looking a bit messy. It's falling over. The grass is very sort of rough and ready. There's no, from my tests and everything in this with this cheaper applicator, I don't think there's any ion generator at all in this causing any static whatsoever. And as you can see, it's hard work. But anyway, that's the look of it. It looks very messy. It's not what I'd call a professional finish, but it looks as if you've done it with a sieve in your hands. So on to the next applicator. The reason I got this one is because of the ion generator in it. Now, with the ion generator, it means it's got some power. The grass is standing up. The mesh is only allowing 4mm through again because it's fine, but you do get the treeing. This is because the power source is too close to the grass. I'll show this in the other applicators later in the video, but as you can see, it is kind of working. We are getting a lot of neater finish. There is some grass falling over here and there, but we are getting an okay look. Now, layering it up, we're still having the problem of only 4 and some bits of 6mm coming through. It does feel a bit longer than the last one, which is a plus. But once we build this up and layer this on, the finish, it's acceptable for the price. I mean, 25 quid, we're getting a good look, but I think it needs some modification to get a far better appearance out of this applicator. Now we're going up into the £50 bracket plus, and all these applicators are designed the same way, with the hopper on the bottom with a handle at the back, with the power source behind the static. So all these have been built exactly the same way, so they all should give reasonable results. Let's find out. So this is a Woodland Scenics, and as you can see, 6mm grass is pouring out of this easily. It's standing bolt upright. It's a night and day difference from the cheaper applicators. And this is what I always say to people about the cheaper applicators is, yes, you can get an okay look out of them, but if you are serious about static, do spend a little bit of money, because this makes the quality difference instantly. You get a more carpet of grass just from one layer, and when you start going on with your soils and your layering, it's just night and day difference. And this is a £50 applicator. This is double the price. I mean, the last one was £25, this one is £50. But straight away the grass is longer, just because it's allowing the 6mm actually through. And you're getting a very much, all the grass is more stood upright rather than all over the place. It gives you a nicer finish. So let's step it up a notch to £80 to the green scene one. This one is one that I've never heard of, one that I've never seen before. Completely, I was not knowing what to expect. And I actually thought out loud while using this one. Wow. That one's good. This one actually felt more like applicators that we're used to using in the £100 plus mark. I was really astounded by the quality of it. The only issue that I do have with it is the handle's pretty fat, and if I was using this on a large board or layout, I probably would have a few hand cramps from shaking it. Bit of an unfair test though with this, because this machine is old and borrowed. The mesh on the bottom's got holes in it, but even still, the quality of the grass that's coming out of it is just brilliant. And for 80 quid, wow, I can't say anything negative about this applicator. It was one that literally left me speechless, as in I couldn't get over the quality of the finish for the price. Now the Woodland Scenics one is the one that I'm really excited about, because out of all the applicators, it's the one that's a proper product. It doesn't look like it's been made by somebody in a shed. And the fact that you can just literally put it on its arse end with the grass up in the air, not getting grass everywhere, is just an absolute win. Yeah, brilliant. Now, design and everything about this is brilliant. The static grass is average at best, unfortunately. I get, you know, it looks nice. It works okay. I wouldn't say, if I had bought this, I wouldn't be upset with the outcome. It's just that obviously the £80 one that I used prior was a lot better for static grassing. But then the Woodland Scenics one has the better applications. You don't have to place it face down when it's full of grass, and it feels good in the hand. You can release the probe from it. You can put mains into it if you wish. It's a good applicator, it's just not as good as the other one that I tried, which is unfortunate because I was very excited about this one. But the quality of the look of the static and everything else, it does look great. And if you was to plug this into mains, you would get a bit more power out of it, which probably would give you a far better look. The Noch Grass Master is one that I was quite excited about using because it's got a lot of good views. It's a 20 kV applicator, which a lot of them are at this price, and it gives good results. I think the problem is at this point, once you like the £80 one, the green scene one, anything after that, everything starts becoming pretty similar. Okay, so these next three, which were the Woodland Scenics one, this one, and then the Woodland Scenics one next, they're all very similar. Some are slightly better in places than others, but overall they're all pretty good. I wouldn't say one's better than the other, they're all pretty much the same. So if you have got any of these three, I wouldn't go changing or anything. They all give reasonable results. So yeah, there's nothing really much to say on the matter. They're just a good average set of applicators. And as you can see, the grass is pretty tidy. It's stood upright pretty well. And it's a very nice look that I think most people have been happy with, and I surely am. And the Woodland Scenics one, the Pro, it's got a slightly bigger hopper. It's only ever so slightly bigger, so that's maybe a plus because you can get more grass in it. But again, the finish on this one was more or less identical to that as the Noch one. The Woodland Scenics one was a little bit, it wasn't as good as these two, but it was very close. As I said, if you'd actually plugged that one into the mains and got a bit more oomph out of it, it probably will give you the similar results as these two. Now on to the most expensive applicator. This is the RTS Greenkeeper. Now this is an absolute animal. It's 55 kV, which is just ridiculous. Just putting the first carpet down, you instantly feel just how much better it is, and that you notice how much better it is as well, because the amount of grass you actually go through, it really does just blast it out of there. The metal plate inside this is a good 3 inch inside it, and you can see it's still treeing, and I must be a good inch to 2 inch up from the base, so you could even apply this from a higher height. I'm new to using it, so obviously I'm making a few mistakes, but the fact that it's treeing and it's that far away just shows the amount of power. It might be a little bit too much for 4 and 6 mil grass, but you can just see how clean and how straight that grass is. This is layering it on top of the grass below, and it just looks like a carpet. It's unreal. Now, the bit that I was really looking forward to is messing it up and getting the soil on there and really seeing what this will start to look like and getting all the nice natural tufts. And again, just blowing out the water. It would be really nice to try that 35 kV applicator for 4 and 6, but I think if I was to use this personally on a regular basis, I'd be using 8 and 10 mil grasses through this, no problem. It's a powerhouse. This applicator is going to be great for your longer lengths, so if you are doing like 1/35th scale modelling or O-gauge railway, or you're doing larger scale wargaming stuff where you're wanting large outcrops of grass, something like this is unreal. It is on the higher price, but you're getting a top quality product for that. So yeah, catch you in a bit. This is how powerful this thing is, as in, I don't know whether you can capture that on camera, but just throwing grass in it, it's throwing it out all over the place. Yeah, it's unreal. Guys, quite an interesting video. I've really enjoyed doing it and quite surprised. The really cheap one, I don't even think there's an ion generator in it. It's okay. It doesn't pass 6 mil through it, 4 mil struggles, and when it does, it just falls flat. It kind of looks how it looks when you use your hands or just a sieve with no electricity. It's putting electricity through something for the sake of it. However, the other cheap one, there's room for improvement there. I mean, I could make that better, and I think that might be another video if I actually wire it different. So not wire it different, but put the mesh as a plate and then move the mesh from the back to the front of it so the power's behind it. There's definitely an ion generator in there because it is doing something and you're getting that treeing. And the reason the treeing happens is literally just because the power's too close to the static and it's causing a too strong current and pulling the grass up to it. That's why in all the other applicators, the plate's behind a tub that's a good 3 to 5 inch deep. So it's creating the static in the box and blowing it out, as you saw on the RTS, which is a monster. So we could work with that. The top 3 for me is the Woodland Scenics, £50 one, the micro, and the one in the middle, which is the green scene. The reason it's in the middle is, for me, I really like that one. It's £80. It's not overly expensive. It's 30 quid more than the cheapest one, but it's a very nice effect. It works very well, and I was quite shocked by it. And I don't think it was a very fair example because that one's very old. It's had some battering. I did borrow that one. Even the mesh on the bottom had loads of holes in it, and it still did an outstanding job. So it would be nice to see a new one and use that one. And then obviously the king of the hill, which you can't. I mean, you don't even need my opinion on this. The RTS Greenkeeper is just an absolute monster and works amazingly. But it is 250 quid, but it's an animal. One video, or maybe one thing I would love to try, maybe if RTS see this I might get to, is to actually compare the 35 kV model to the 55 kV model. That'd be amazing, because they are superb applicators. They are a bit on the pricier side, but for the money, it does an awesome job. And yeah, the RTS is the winner overall for me. But for 80 quid, the green scene one it surprised me. It did surprise me. It's quite good for the money. The Woodland Scenics one at 50 quid, it's a good bang for buck. All the applicators around £100, so that's the WS Pro, the Woodland Scenics one, the Grass Master Noch one. They're all almost identical. Some are slightly better than others, but it's so minimal. And they're all pretty much the same. And to me, I prefer the £80 one over them. And obviously the RTS one is just phenomenal. But them 3, for me, if you in your price bracket, the £50, £80 and £250. It would be nice to try the 35 kV one, but them three for me are just outstanding applicators, and I don't think you'd be upset with any of them. Now, going on from this video later, I might actually take apart that 25 quid one from Take Cover, Scenics, Terrain, whatever it's called, and try and make that work, because it might be quite impressive. All I've got to do is cut an hole in it, stick mesh on bottom and just put a metal plate over. We might be able to get an okay applicator. So if any of you have got that and you wanted to get more out of it, we could probably try and make that into an okay applicator, depending on the KV. If it's only... It's got some power, it's not amazing, but it's got some, so if we can actually make it better and it works better, it'd be a good video. Making cheap applicators better. There we go, video sorted. But anyway guys, if you've liked this video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. If you want to support me, videos like this do cost quite a bit of money. So if you want to support me, do check out my shop where you can buy static grasses, you can buy your flocks, you can buy all your Scenics needs from below. Alright guys, for anything else, all my affiliates and everything, if you want all the applicators, all that sort of garbage, it'll be in the drop down where you can have a look, and if you want to buy one, and using them links does help. If it's a Amazon one, if it ain't, then it won't. But anyway guys, thanks for watching, thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you again for the next video. Love, love, love.